What's the drive that both you guys, man, Joe, what's the drive to keep you from just not jumping in front of a garbage truck and say, fuck it, this is just why live? What's the future? Because you live because you think there's always a future. Do you see a future? And and what's your future like? What do you want out of the future?
I make music. Out of all of this whole story, the end, not the end of the story, the middle of the story, before I came to New York, I started writing music. I started making music. So for me, that's what it's about for me right now. I'm living by music. I imagine Joe's probably living for his kids more than anything else.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
They give me
how old are your kids, Joe?
29, 20, and 18. Well, 19 and 17, but all our birthdays in December. It's come on the 13th. Yasin's the 17th, Yusef's the 23rd, and my oldest son, Joseph Jr., his is November the 5th.
Wow.
You know,
how old is your oldest?
I can honestly say 29. I can honestly say I really haven't been
you don't look like you should have a 29-year-old kid, Joe. Wow.
He's almost 50.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Jesus
Christ. Fucking Keith, can you go out and find some fucking crazy bums? Like, can you?
We should bring
you bring these guys and they fucking human beings. Well, where's one with a fucking arrow through his head from fucking 62?
A little bit. Last week, those guys, we want them foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, like a fucking.
So we don't have any emotions for them.
Look at man last week.
Look at Joe.
His rocker.
Well, that's the point. Get closer to the mic.
I don't mean to.
Not anyone, but
I don't want to sound like
you're
I
not
take
saving any money and you lose your job when companies emerge. It can happen to
Oh,
some people.
damn.
And you guys had nobody around. I don't mean to sound like I'm taking something for granted, but you guys had nobody around because I've thought about this. You know, I work in entertainment. I'm like, homelessness is not that far away if I don't play my cards right.
Especially these days.
But I always say, well, goddamn, somebody in my family will let me live with them. Like, you had nobody around you. Like, you said you had a wife. She wasn't like, dude, come sleep on the couch, man, so the next Metallica video comes along.
Huh? She took off on me.
She split.
Well, she took off with a woman.
Your kids, man, your kids.
Whoa.
I heard that. I heard that. She took off with a woman named Sinead.
Your wife left you for a woman?
Yes, sir.
And you're not into that? You could have had a home, fucking Mustard.
Right?
If you just say, hey, baby, do your thing, you should have told me.
Nah, honestly.
Mustard and his bitches, nigga. There's the sitcom.
That's supportive of me. You know, I have clothes there. She stays in Orange, New Jersey.
Why don't you go live with her, man?
I go there, take a shower, eat, whatever. Then after football games over the weekend, you know, I was actually thinking about going there today because of the coldness last night or whatever, you know. And you know, she's very supportive of me, you know. But I don't know. I'm not really helping out with the rent, even though she paying. You know, whether the kids say, well, whether you here or not, she still got to pay the bills. So, you know,
what's the evil part, Joe?
What's
the evil? What's the shit? Because we getting the part of where you go, oh man. But what's the shit we go, oh, man, you motherfucker, Joe. Like, what'd you do? Like, what was the bottom? To anybody, like, what was the bottom of where motherfuckers would go, Joe, I think you need to, like, not ever show up. You know.
No, I can,
was you knocking your woman out?
My sister's house, my aunt come over. I mean, I can go to my family.
Right.
My mom's passed away. My pops, he's still living, but I don't be around them when I'm out in the street or whatever, and, so
what did you do? Did you ever, like, hit your wife? You ever hit your kid? Like, in a fit of being drunk or whatever? And same thing to you, Mustard. Like, you ever do some shit like you just like, I gotta keep away from people.
She used to beat me up.
Really?
That was the straw that broke her camel's back. We were fighting for like 3 days. 3 days straight, okay? Somebody called the cops. The cops show up. And in California, they have a law. If there's a domestic dispute, complaint or whatever, they have to arrest somebody. Because at some point, sometime a long time ago, they used to just let people walk away and then come back. And some guy came back and killed his wife.
Know that.
So now it's like, no, they got to arrest somebody.
And it was you or her?
Usually it's the man, right. But I had blood all over my face.
So they arrested her?
They arrested her. She did not like that.
That cunt. Mustard had a future.
Yeah, Mustard
She's very passionate.
See what happens
person.
loving these bitches. Good for Tiger.
She's a very passionate person. All the people I've ever loved have been very passionate people.
Mustard, you seem very aware. Are you going to get your shit back together?
I've got to get my shit together.
Do you want to?
Could have been, should have been.
Maybe he's not.
No, that's a, don't do that. No, that's a song I wrote. That's a song I wrote.
Right.
Gotta get my shit together. I did that song. Don't do that, Opie. Come on, don't do that.
Yeah, that was. I like that song. That was better than any song on Joe's CD.
Thank you.
Joe, you play, not Joe,
I play guitar.
Mustard, you play guitar?
I play guitar. I have a...
Wait, do we have a guitar in this joint?
Yes. Yeah. Somebody have a guitar?
I want to hear him fucking...
Yeah, we got somebody looking for one.
All right, yeah, we got to see...
Now, I've written some really good songs.
Right,
I have a CD, but I'm not sure if it works.
Mustard, you have a Facebook, too?
Yes, I have a Facebook and a MySpace.
A homeless guy with a Facebook? MySpace?
I know homeless people with
He's
Blackberries.
got a fucking CD, he just said.
I know homeless people with Blackberries, man. Only in America.
Can I ask Joe something? I both you guys, I guess, but mostly Joe. Is it easier to be homeless? Easier to be on the streets? Because we hear that from time to time. But there's a lot of pressure when you when you clean your shit up and you gotta like have responsibilities and stuff. Do you want to be homeless?
It's stressful.
Yeah.
Which way? Being homeless?
Yeah.
Well, today it has to be stressful. I walk from the garage to here, and I'm like, Lordy, Lord, like, you know, woo.
I know.
I got a button. I should get a scarf.
Like, doing that
so there's somebody that he lives out there,
right?
But like, I would think not being on the grid at least gives you an advantage. Where, I mean, in the summertime, if you're chilling and this and that, and you find, but you know what? It can't be. Living on the street cannot be.
People always say that they'd be like, yeah, it's getting ready to get cold or whatever, but like really living on the street, whether it's hot or cold, really is not good for a person.
Hey, Mustard, how do you update your site?
Well, Anthony, speaking of that, I was wrong. Dickie Punchcock writes, it's actually filthy Facebook.
Oh, Jesus.
The library. I go to the library.
Oh, the library.
Yeah, library. And the Apple Store is good for certain things, but I like the library. I go to the library.
You're punching up shit at the Apple Store?
Joe, where's the good indoor place to sleep?
Never go to
Joe,
I still
don't understand though, man. You got your sister who's got clothes and shit for you. Why don't you just go stay with her and get a job at a fucking 7-Eleven and get on your feet? And I don't understand why
you can snap. Thanks. She don't feel safe.
I'm really asking.
She don't feel safe.
He's saying he said he don't want to stay there. He said that.
Because he knows.
Wait, let's ask him. Joe, why don't you want to stay with your wife?
No, his sister.
I mean his sister. I'm sorry, sister.
You know, I've stayed there at times, but I just always leave. I go out to work with her in the morning, you know. She works at a college, and then, you know, from there I just get on the train or the bus.
And she has expectations. That's another thing. She's trying to better him. When he go there, she's on his ass like, Joe, the fuck you doing? And he's like, man, I just want to take a shower and...
Well, he's saying
think about heroin.
He's saying she doesn't do that. So that's what I'm respectfully asking you. What's stopping you from just living there with her and saying, you know, I'm ready. I'm going to get my shit together.
It's 20 degrees.
Is it like, are you like a guy like in Vietnam? Are you like Christopher Walken in Deer Hunter where you're like, I ain't coming back. I'm fucking staying here. Is it like at that point where you're just lost in the jungle, or, you know?
No.
Nice walking.
Well, what's preventing you from just?
Yeah, there's a restlessness there, Joe. Like it looks like you don't feel comfortable just being in the house there, and are constantly leaving.
Maybe so. I mean, you know, maybe because I'm not help providing or whatever, I feel, you know, like that because I'm not really giving anything, you know, at the time. Which she don't, you know, she's very supportive.
Like, is this couch getting uncomfortable? You need some bottles or some shit on it, or you gonna get up and walk away?
It's amazing the relationship you develop with cardboard.
Fucking name, man. I'm trying to prepare myself for homelessness, nigga. I'm sleeping on the floor later.